Hey everyone, what's up? It's Ryan from Stromboli Games. Now you'll probably be able to tell in the video, but I really don't feel all that great today, and I apologize. But I recorded it anyway, and for this video, I just hopped right into it. These are the basics of what you need to know to make your moon landing. Now, when I cut into the video, it's just going to go right into me in orbit around Kerbin. I already assume, since, I've done episodes on that you'll know how to do that. If you don't remember how to get into orbit, go ahead and watch one of my older videos. I know that quality wasn't nearly as good back then, but it's still good information. Instead, in this episode, I'm focusing solely on landing on the moon. I tried my best to keep this video as short as I possibly could, but if you guys have any other questions, just let me know in the comments. I might even do another video showing how I built the ship. If you still have the design left over from episode 4, I would use that and just kind of modify it to have landing gear and some extra fuel in the upper stage. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Thank you for watching. Alright, so here we are in a stable orbit around Kerbin. You see, I already have the maneuver node planned to make another flyby with the moon. This display sheet here shows how much delta V I have total. It's over 3,000, and this burn to get me to the moon is about 800. And this burn here I have planned will get me in within about 170,000 meters. From there, I can get myself into a nice stable orbit around the moon. I should have plenty of fuel to ascend, descend, and return to Kerbin. I'm going to go ahead and time accelerate to the burn, which is right now. That was close. I absolutely nailed that burn. It's precisely on top of it, just a few thousand meters off. It's so close that it's kind of glitching around here. But you guys don't want to sit through the whole process of warping to there, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring it back once I have myself in the moon's sphere of influence and I'm ready to put myself into orbit around the moon. Alright, well, I am in the moon's sphere of influence and I went ahead and planned out a burn to put myself into an orbit. How you want to do this is you want to go to the periaps, which means, the lowest approach. There is no apoapse in this case, because at this velocity that I'm at, I will just keep on going and break out of the moon's sphere of influence, and then just return into this, actually, holy crap, I'm even in, since I'm in Kerbin escape velocity, I'll just be in orbit around the sun. Kerbal is called. Kerbal, with an O instead of an A. So what we have to do is, this is a retrograde burn, meaning it's pointed. We're burning in the direction that we're coming from, so, say this is our ship, we're moving along this way. We want to point ourselves the opposite direction, and then burn in the opposite direction of which we're moving, to slow down our velocity and bring us into orbit around the moon. Which is what I have planned here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll bring you back once I'm in orbit and ready to bring us down for a landing. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing us in for landing. I have myself into an orbit around the moon. And you know what? I'm just going to keep burning. You can use this. Okay, you can use this map to kind of pinpoint where you want to land. But since this is going to be our first landing on the moon, everywhere you land is going to be a discovery in a different biome. It's going to be in a biome we haven't done any science in yet. So the first landing, unless you really want your first landing to be somewhere specific, like, say, this giant crater, doesn't really matter. But since there's no atmosphere, all you have to do is get this trajectory roughly in the area you want it, and there you go. It should be roughly the area where you land. Well, I'm going to go ahead and trim it once again so you don't have to sit through the whole approach, but I'll bring you back once I am ready to land. Alright, so long before you actually get close, you're going to want to start killing your orbital velocity, because at this point, here relative to the surface, that's how fast you're moving, and that is much, much too fast. I'm going to start slowing my descent. I'm going to deploy my landing gear. You do that with G. Sometimes you have to hit it twice because it doesn't quite get it the first time. Depends on how you have your gear set to toggle at the very beginning. I'm bringing my surface velocity down, bringing it down. I don't want to keep burning through fuel, but, I don't really have a choice. I gotta slow myself down enough so I don't slam into the surface and die. You have to be very careful. And through this whole time, You're not going to be using the map. It's not a maneuver node. You just want to keep yourself pointed in the retrograde position, and keep an eye on this. All right. At this one, it's at one point on one side of it, you don't want to be coming in way too fast and not have enough time to slow yourself down and come in for a soft landing. But at the same time, by keeping yourself too slow, you're just wasting fuel. So it's really just a fine balance landing is. You have to find, what exactly will work best for your situation. And what would have been really nice in this area here is lights, because I'm on the dark side of the moon. We are coming in fairly slow, very controllable pace, and you're just going to want to keep keeping an eye on this. But remember, this won't count down to 0. That shows sea level, and it's not accurate. That will measure the very absolute lowest place that you will ever get, and it is not accurate. It is not relevant whatsoever to how the terrain actually is. So you're going to have to keep an eye on the terrain and base it off of that. If you have, a mod like this, you can bring up the surface, and this will tell you how far away you are from the actual terrain. Alright, so now I'm within 1 kilometer of the surface. This is the point where you're really going to have to crack down on your speed and make sure that you don't go above, I would say, no higher than 15-20 meters per second for this last little leg. Once you get yourself within a couple hundred meters of the ground, you want to bring yourself to your landing velocity so that you don't break your landing gear. I'm actually going to burn in that direction to bring myself back up so I am completely perpendicular with the ground, so I'm not coming in at any funny angles, because coming in at an angle like so can cause you to tip. Alright, here we go. We have successfully landed on the surface of the moon, and here you can go do all of your science, material study for the moon's midlands. That's the biome that we landed in. So I'm going to go ahead and EVA, and in theory, I should be able to fly. Yeah, okay. My jetpack on my Kerbal is more than sufficient to lift me off the ground. To activate your jetpack, you have to hit R, and then Shift will bring you up, W will move you forward, S will move you back, and Control pushes you down. You very carefully want to grab back onto the ladder. Okay, or I can stand on the battery pack, that works too. Alright, we're going to grab, we're going to hop back in, and you have successfully completed your very first moon landing. Congratulations. Well, everyone, thank you for watching episode 5 of my Kerbal Space Program series. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Ryan from Stromboli Games, signing off.